Hey guys, Kelly Hodges, Dietitian. Today I'm going to show you how to do a simple recipe makeover, just how to make your current food more based on a real food principle, and then also how to decrease the carbohydrates if that's something that you're after doing. Okay, let's get straight into it. So, a basic brekkie. We've got a couple brekkie, couple lunch, and then some dinner. So, a basic brekkie of toasts and eggs, a couple of slices of toast. So one slice of toast is 15 grams of carbohydrate. So two slices of toast is 30 grams of carbohydrate. If you were to divide that by 4, you would get how many teaspoons of sugar essentially. So all carbs are broken down into sugar, and there's about 4 grams per teaspoon. So if you've got your carbohydrate divided by 4, it gives you the teaspoons of sugar. So 30 grams of carbohydrate divided by 4 is 7 teaspoons of sugar that you get in a couple of slices of bread. Now that is assuming you're having eggs and butter with that. But I mean, a lot of people were having, I don't know, jam with that instead, or peanut butter and syrup. And so you've got the other condiments, so jam and peanut butter, both of those, jam and syrup, both of those are really high in sugar. And so, for example, if you've got 1 teaspoon of jam, so 4 grams of jam, it's 4 grams of sugar. And so, assuming basic toast, butter, eggs, you're getting about 30 grams of carbohydrate, which is 7 teaspoons of sugar. You could, if you wanted to decrease carbohydrates, change this to eggs and veggies. So maybe make a massive thing of scrambled eggs, and in there you fry up some onion and mushrooms and capsicum and zucchini, and you have a couple of cups of veggies in there, plus you've got your eggs in there as well. So lots of protein, lots of fat, lots of fiber. Your carbohydrates drop all the way down to about 3 grams. So that's just dependent on how many veggies and what type of veggies you're using, but about 3 grams of carbohydrates, which is 1 teaspoon. And so you've dropped it down from 7 teaspoons all the way down to 1 teaspoon. That's one example. Over here, this is a great example because this is so common. This is like a standard Western breakfast. So cereal, and with the cereal, assuming you're pouring milk onto it, and then maybe a little glass of orange juice or apple juice, or like a juice going in there as well. So cereal, for a standard 40-gram portion of cereal, so one of those little fun size packs, I think that they're called, for one of those, generally it's about 30 grams of carbohydrate. So immediately it's about 75% carbohydrate. And so if you've got your cereal plus your milk, so this is assuming 1 cup of milk, it's about 40 grams of carbohydrate, bang, to start your day. That's about 10 teaspoons of sugar. You've also then going to just have a quick little glass of orange juice, so about 300 mils, and that's another 30 grams of carbohydrate, which is another approximately 7 teaspoons of sugar. And so altogether, for this brekkie here, you've got 70 teaspoons of sugar to start your day, which is 70 grams of carbohydrates to start your day, which is 17.5 teaspoons of sugar. If you were to come over here and rather make your own muesli, so this is something that we do a lot, mostly in summer, to just get a whole big batch of nuts and seeds and coconut flakes, roast them up with some salt, with some butter, and just make that into your muesli. Have your own muesli. This is assuming probably about half a cup, just over, 15 grams of carbohydrate. That's with nuts and seeds, and the coconut. So that's about 4 teaspoons of sugar. And then a couple of tablespoons of yogurt on top, of full fat, lovely Greek yogurt. That's about another 2 grams of carbohydrate. And then having water, because don't have juice. And so altogether, that there is 17 grams of carbohydrate, which is actually 4 teaspoons of sugar. And so you can see how you can go from cereal and orange juice, change it over, so still quite similar and so much more tasty, and you go from 70 grams down to 17 grams, and you go from 17.5 teaspoons of sugar down to 4 teaspoons. So you're pretty much having about 25% of the carbohydrates. Okay, let's keep moving. Oh, we got some pink. So this is a standard lunch when people come in and they have a chat to me and they're having a chicken salad sandwich for lunch because that's a healthy option. And yes, absolutely, it's a lovely healthy option. When you've got the chicken, that's no carbohydrates. When you've got salad, depending what salad it is, depending how much, maybe about 2 grams, it's very tiny amounts, about half a teaspoon. When you've got the bread, like we were saying before, 1 slice of bread is 15 teaspoons, and so 2 slices is 30 grams, and so it comes down to about 8 teaspoons. So altogether, for that, it's about 32 grams of carbohydrate, which breaks down to 8 teaspoons of sugar. If you were just to have the exact same chicken and more salad and no bread, one, you'll feel generally a lot better. But the salad, assuming a fairly sizable salad, you're having about 5 grams of carbohydrate, which is just over 1 teaspoon of sugar. And so again, you've dropped it down from 8 teaspoons of sugar down to 1 teaspoon of sugar. Let's say that you are getting takeaway and you're getting some sushi. How lovely, I love sushi. So a standard sushi, about 45 grams. Now, when I say that, so you get all different sizes and shapes and everything with sushi. So I just figured the easiest way to do it, because it's all filled with rice, just assume a 1 cup measure. So about 1 cup like that. Just grab a measuring cup if you need to help you visualize that, or if you've got a coffee cup, like this coffee cup here, it's probably about that much over there. Okay, and so assuming that you're having 1 cup of rice from your sushi, is how I've done this one. So sushi, about 45 grams of carbohydrate, which is 11 teaspoons of sugar. If you were to grab the sushi, some places make it where they actually use cauliflower rice instead of the sushi rice. If you were to do that, or even go 50-50, you're dropping it all the way down to about 5 grams of carbohydrates. And so again, that's 9 times less. And so 11 teaspoons of sugar all the way down to 1 teaspoon of sugar, which is really good. It's really significant. It adds up. These are just some quick, easy dinner options, and these are quite common options. So, for example, spaghetti bolognese. I should say actually, so 1 cup of spaghetti is about 45 grams, I should say grams, is 45 grams of carbohydrate. 1 cup of rice cooked is about 45 grams of carbohydrate. And so the spaghetti, just changing the spaghetti over to the zoodles, and you can see it immediately drops it down to about 8 grams, which is about 2 teaspoons. And again, with the rice, changing regular rice over to cauliflower rice or broccoli rice. And that's dropping it down to about 5 grams. Goodness me, that should say grams as well, I apologize. Which is about 1 teaspoon. And so you can see there, 11 teaspoons down to 1 teaspoon, and 11 teaspoons down to 2 teaspoons. Like, that's a significant amount. And then lasagna is another really common, easy option. 60 grams, so that's all the lasagna sheets, which is the carbohydrate containing component. And also you just have to keep in mind, all of these foods that we're switching out, they aren't real foods anyway. Like, they're not growing on the land as lasagna sheets or as noodles. And so we make them into that. And so our bodies don't need them, I guess is what I'm saying. We don't need to be consuming lasagna sheets. It's not doing anything for our diet. And so lasagna, 60 grams, change it over for zucchini lasagna. So instead of using lasagna sheets, just slice your zucchini nice and thin. You could do with zucchini or with eggplant. You could get creative with other veggies. And then also serve it with the salad as well. So just filling up on the salads as opposed to all the heavy things. And this drops it all the way down to about 8 grams of carbohydrate, which is 2 teaspoons. And so again, 15 teaspoons down to 2 teaspoons. So guys, it's just making lots of little changes. So when people come to me and they say, oh, I'd like a diet plan, I generally say no. I don't want to just give you a diet plan and you just regurgitate that, and then in 2 weeks' time you come back to me and you're sick of eating these foods, so you need another one. Like, that doesn't make sense longer term. Whereas if you figure out like the better, healthier options of what you're currently eating, what you're currently enjoying, and just make small little changes here and there. So have your spaghetti bolognese, how delicious, enjoy it, and then just start changing, reducing your spaghetti over to zoodles. Or you may even, if you're wanting the carbohydrates, just a real food alternative, is use your sweet potato spirals. Like, that's completely fine, and sweet potato is going to give you more than what spaghetti would as well. And so it's just all about making little changes, little changes, reducing the carbohydrates just slowly. If you're wanting to reduce the carbohydrates, just reduce it slowly, make it a lifestyle, make sure you love it, make sure your family loves it, and it becomes really easy because it's tasty. Like, it's tasty, it's delicious, it's easy to follow on. It does become your life. It doesn't become a diet. It literally becomes your lifestyle. And when you go back to eating, like, for example, if I were to have spaghetti bolognese, I'm sure I would enjoy it, but I would also feel very heavy and I would miss my zoodles. Like, I don't get as much satisfaction now when I go back to these sorts of foods, because I feel so much better with other foods, with the real food alternatives. Also, I guess the other thing is just keep in mind that the real food alternatives, they're loaded with nutrients, vitamins and minerals, loaded with fiber as well. And so they're really, really great just to optimize your health in general. Anyway, guys, I hope that that's helpful, and I look forward to chatting to you later. Bye.